In this video, we discuss about Samuelson approach, introduction of multiplier and accelerator. Professor Samuelson constructed a multiplier accelerator model, assuming one period lag and the different values for the MPC alpha, which is we taken alpha, and the accelerator beta, that result in change in the level of income pertaining of five different types of fluctuations. The multiplier and accelerator combined reduce cyclical fluctuations. The greater the value of accelerator beta, the greater is the change of an explosive cycle. The greater the value of multiplier, the greater the change of a cyclical less path. So the summation model is so Samuelson assumed it is an interaction between multiplier and accelerator that gives rise to cyclical fluctuation in the economic activity. The multiplier alone cannot adequately explain the cyclical and cumulative nature of the economic fluctuation, as autonomous increase in the level of investment raises income by magnified amount depending upon the value of the multiplier. Uh, this increase in income further induces the increases in investment through the accelerator effect. The increase in income begins about increase in aggregate demand for goods and services. To produce more goods, we require more capital goods for which extra investment is undertaken. So the relationship between investment and income is one of the mutual interactions. Investment affect income, which in turns affect investment demand, and in this process, income and employment fluctuation in a cyclical manners. As he says, YT is equal to GT plus CT plus IT. It's the first equation where YT is national income. Uh, YT is the national income. Y at a time. Y. National income Y at T time, which is a summer. मतलब previous year या current year it means. Y T मतलब national income at this time, present time. Government expenditure GT. Consumption expenditure CT, and induced investment is so CT is equal to alpha YT minus 1. It's a second equation and it's VT CT minus CT1. You can take alpha YT की जगह, you can take CT. Okay. And here again CT minus 1, you can take, okay. I also explain again, alpha YT की जगह we can take CT because CT is equal to alpha YT minus 1. So alpha YT minus 1 beta CT, ठीक है. So uh, substitution equations beta alpha YT 18 minus 1 and फिर again CT जगह we can take CT minus 1 की जगह we can take alpha YT minus 2. Understood? मतलब when you see CT is equal to alpha YT minus 1. So you can see here CT key in place of CT you can take this, okay, and IT is equal to beta alpha YT minus 1 IT, you say IT, okay, beta CT. तो CT की जगह we can take place alpha YT, ठीक है, alpha YT minus 1 and CT minus 1 and alpha YT minus 2, okay. I think you have understood. So substitution equations 2 and 4 and 5 we have. According to Samuelson, if we know the national income for 2 periods, national income for following periods can be simply derived by taking a weighted sum. The weighted depend on, of course, upon the value chosen for the marginal propensity to consume, alpha marginal propensity to consume, and for the relation accelerator, assuming the value of marginal propensity to consume to be greater than 0 and less than 1. 1 is greater than marginal propensity to consume. Okay, and accelerator greater than 0 and beta accelerator is greater than 0. Here you see in this diagrams, now this table is also given you. I will also explain this table as you see in the equations. Here is the equations uh, where YT, CT, it stands consumption and investment respectively for a period T, and CT stand for autonomous consumptions. Okay, so above especially it is evident that consumptions in the period T is a function of income of the previous period YT minus 1. YT minus 1, the previous period. Okay, that is one period lag as we assume for income to determine the consumption of a period. As regard induced investment in period T, it is taken to be the function of change in the income in the previous period. This means that there is two periods gaps for change in income to determine induced investment. So, as induced investment equal to here investment of IT beta CT minus CT minus 1, and you can take its YT minus 1 minus YT minus 2. Here you see. So in this case we have following income equations which state how changes in income are dependent on the value of marginal propensity to consume and capital output ratio. So this is due to the fact that in static equilibrium, given the data to determining factors, that equilibrium level of income remained unchanged. That is, in the case of yt is equal to yt minus 1 is equal to yt minus 2 is equal to yt minus m, so that period lags have no influence at all and accelerator is reduced to 0. Thus, in a dynamic state, when autonomous investment changes, the equations describe the path which a disequilibrium system follows to reach either a final equilibrium state or moves away from it. But whether the economy moves towards a new equilibrium or deviates away from it depends upon on the value of marginal propensity to consume and capital output ratio. Capital output ratio in accelerator. Okay, capital output ratio you can say accelerator by taking different combination of values of marginal propensity to consume and capital output ratio. Samuelson has described different paths which you can see here in this uh, figure, different paths with which the economy will follow. The various combination of the values of marginal propensity to consume and capital output ratio. As you see in the figure, in this figure, you can see Samuelson present 5 cases. Case first. Samuelson case first shows a cyclical less. Case first cycle less path because it is based only the multiplier effect. You can say this is based on the multiplier effect. While capital ratio, accelerator is 0. Accelerator playing no parts in it. This is shown in the figure A. You can say only multiplier 1. Figure 2. Case 2. Case 2 shows a damped cycle. Case 2 damped. It's a damped cyclical path fluctuating around the static. So you can say static level and gradually succeeding to that level as shown in the figure B. In this case, the multiplier effect and accelerator effect also both are playing. And case third, case third, dactic cycle of constant. Case third, C, A, E, and just a minute, it's still. So Samuelson explained in the case first. In this case, situation level of income is influenced by multiplier because value of accelerator is zero. You can see value of accelerator is zero. Under the situation, income moves upward. Income moves upward and downward at a decrease rate till it reaches a new level. This new level of income will be equal to the multiplier. Okay, this fluctuation can be defined propensity with the help of the uh, marginal propensity to consume. Now, in the second case, this gives us a damped, damped cyclical, damped oscillations. In this situation, the income fluctuation through varies or cycle of similar, smaller. You can see smaller and smaller amplitude until the cycle virtual disappears. The cycle is shown in this figure that the fluctuation is smaller. Okay. Now, in the case, this gives C. This gives regular and continuous cyclical. First of all, and it becomes big cycle, continuous cycle where more or less same value repeat themselves, and it can be defined with the help of the diagrams. After this, uh, in the fourth case, this will gives anti-damped cycle. In this situation, the income fluctuation through the series of cycle and a wider and wider amplitude. This gives us explosive cycle as is proved. And in the last um, conditions, if E, this gives us even increasing income, special anti-dam cycle. Increasing income gradually increase approaches compound rate of interest. In the other words, income increase at an increasing rate of this is shown with the help of so Samuelson case one show cycle less far because it is based only the multiplier effect as I also discussed it, and accelerator playing no parts in it. This is show case 2 show a damped cycle path as you see damped cycle path fluctuation around the static multiplier level and gradually subsiding to that level as shown in the figure B. Case C, rapid cycle of constant amplitude repeating themselves around the multiplier level. This case is depicted in figure 2. C reveals anti-damped and exploring cycle and cycle less explosive upward path, eventually approaching a compound interest rate of growth. So, uh, now we discuss our, hope you well understood all the diagrams. Now, practices of business cycle. This model only concentrates on the impact of multiplier and accelerator. It ignores the roles of producer, expectation, changing business requirement, and consumer preferences because it doesn't take the place of innovations, businessman expectations. It is not practically possible to compute the fact of multiplier and accelerator principle. It has wrong assumptions of constant capital output ratio. Hicks of trade cycles depend on the following assumptions. The autonomous investment rises at a constant rate. Autonomous investment, which investment is which investment is due to by the government and which is the starting investment. The saving and the investment coefficients are uh, disturbed over time. Hicks assumed constant value for the multiplier and accelerator. The economy cannot expand beyond the full employment level of output. There is a time gap that is introduced. Investment in the current period is a function of change in the output of the previous. The average capital output ratio is greater than 1. So, Keynes says, oh sorry, uh, Hicks says saving investment relation and multiplier concept. Accelerator concept. Keynes also used different concept of the which is explained in the trade cycle as save. He also take the saving investment relation. This saving investment relation and multiplier concept given by the Keynes. Accelerator concept given by the Clark. Multiplier accelerator interaction concept given by the Samuelson. And growth model of Harold Thomas. So Hicks has also framed certain assumptions, as you also see. Suppose assume an equilibrium rate of growth in a model economy where realized interest rates, growth rate and natural growth rate are equal. As a result, increase in autonomous investment. I also say about the autonomous investment is constant and is equal to increase in the voluntary savings. The equilibrium growth rate can be obtained with the help of the rate of autonomous investment and voluntary saving. Keynes also assumes the consumption function given by the Simpsons, which is Ct is equal to delta y t minus 1. T minus 1, yani t time, and minus 1 is the from last date is trying to Hicks forward complete theory of business cycle based on the interaction between multiplier and accelerator. And he also defined in this figure. Hicks theories of business cycle has been explained with the help of figure. Of figure AA line. AA its line. AA line shows the path of the autonomous investment growing at a constant rate. Because Hicks also take the concept of the autonomous investment and the line EE. The line EE is the equilibrium level of output determined by autonomous investment and the combined effect of a multiplier and accelerator interaction. Line F, and F is the full employment ceiling and upper limit. It's an upper limit. The full employment economy not go beyond this line. And LL is the L line mover equilibrium part of output is representative, the floor or slump equilibrium line. X begin cycle institution PO. PO along with the equilibrium path E. PO along with the equilibrium path EE. Here EE. An increase in the rate of cross investment will lead to increase in income by the multipliers accelerator interaction. As a result of the economy moves POPS. POPS. Okay. Movement from the PO to P1. PO P1 represent the outreach and expansion phase of the business cycle. Here the economy cannot move beyond P1 because it is the upper limit and because it hits the employment and ceiling line F. Okay, and the economic creeps along the ceiling line from P1 to P2. Thus, the economy moves along the ceiling. During the downswing, the multiplier investment mechanism sets in reverse. falling investment, reduce incomes, and so on. The downturns will start when there is a fall in the investment. When investment falls, income falls. When multiplier accelerator interaction, we know that when investment falls, multiplier works in the backward direction. As a result, income level falls and economy moves downward. P2 Q2 here, P2 Q3, and it's also bound for the equilibrium point. P point. The stage is known as a recession. This stage is known as a recession. This stage is known as a peak, and it is expansion. P1 is expansion, it's a peak, and it's a recession. Okay, so now the economy is a flow line LL, but cannot move below the floor line LL. It's a floor line LL. Economy cannot move beyond the above this line. It's a floor line. Okay, and economy cannot move below this line. The recovery does not start immediately. The economy moves along the line LL and from Q2 to Q3. Q3, it's pro point. Okay, now it's a recovery point. Okay, as we also study in the phases, for sometimes because of the existence of the access capacity in the when all access capacity is exhausted, autonomous investment will cause income to rise, which will bring prosperity in the income economy. Thus, the interaction between multiplier and accelerator leads to economic expansion and then depression. So, hope is well understood the concept of the theory of the Higgs. So Higgs explained output ceiling when all the given resources are fully employed. Output ceiling, as you see in the diagrams here, output ceiling here, then expansion and peak point resources and income and output beyond it. And on the other hand, he visualized a floor, this line LL line, or lower limit below which income and output cannot go because some autonomous investment is always taking place. Another important features of Higgs theory is that business cycle in the economy occurs in the background of the economic growth. The rising trend of the real income of output over time. In other words, cyclical fluctuation in real output of goods and services take place above and below this rising line of trends or growth of income and output. Thus, in his theory, explain which cycle along with an equilibrium rate of growth. In Higgs theory of long-run equilibrium growth, that is determine the rate of increase of autonomous investment over time, and therefore long-run equilibrium growth of income is determined by the autonomous investment and the magnitudes of the multiplier and accelerator. Higgs assumed that autonomous investment, depending as it is on technological progress, innovations, and populations growth, grow as at a constant rate, which further assumptions to stable multiplier and accelerator. Equilibrium income will grow at the same rate as autonomous investment. It follows, therefore, that the failure of actual output to increase along the equilibrium growth path, sometimes to move above it and sometimes to move below it. It determines the business cycle. Higgs theory of business cycle has been explained with the help of this figure, as I have also discussed with you. As you say, a line that represent autonomous investment. Autonomous investment is that investment which is not induced by changes in income and is made by entrepreneur as a result of technological progress or innovations or population's growth. Hicks assumes that autonomous investment grows annually at a constant rate, meant, constant rate given by the slope of a line AA. So given the marginal propensity to consume, the simple multiplier is determined. Then the magnitude of the multiplier and autonomous investment together determine the equilibrium path of income shows by the line EE, equilibrium path Higgs caused this the floor line as this sets a low, sorry, equilibrium path of income and show also the LL is the lower floor line and this sets the lower limits below which income cannot fall because of a given rate of growth of autonomous investment and given size of the multiplier. But induced investment has not yet been taken into account. If national income grows from one year or to the next year as it would move along the line LL. There is some amount of induced investment while accelerator. The line EE shows the equilibrium growth path of the national income determined by the autonomous investment and the combined path of the multiplier and the accelerator. And FF, FF here ceiling line, so full employment and ceiling. It is a line that shows the maximum national output of at any period of time when all variable available resources of economy are fully employed, given the constant growth of the autonomous investment and the magnitude of multipliers and the induced investment determined by the accelerator. The economy will be moving along the equilibrium growth path line EE, thus starting from point E, the economy will be equilibrium moving along the path EE determined by the combined effect of the multiplier and accelerator and the growing level of the autonomous investment. Suppose when the economy reaches point P2 along the path EE, there is an external shock, say the outwards of investment due to certain innovations or jump in the governmental investment when economic P0, P1. When the economic experience such an outwards, so it pushes the economy above equilibrium growth path, the EE after point P0. The rise in autonomous investment due to the external shocks causes national income to increase at a greater rate than that shown by the slopes of EE. The greater increase in national income will cause further increase in induced investment through accelerator effect. This increase in induced investment causes national income to increase by a magnified amount through multipliers. So, under the combined effect of the multiplier accelerator, national income of output will rapidly expand along the path of P0 to P1, movement from PQ, P0 to P0 to P1 and P1 to P2. Movement from the P1 to P2 represent the upwings of expansions phases of the business cycle, but the expansion must stop at P2 because this is the full employment output ceiling, the limited human and material resources of the economy of national income that by the shown by the ceiling line FF. So therefore, when the point economy when point P2 is reaches the rapid growth of national income must come to an end. Professor Hicks assumed that the full employment ceiling grows at the same rate of autonomous investment. Therefore, it's also decrease and it's a P2 Q2. It's a recession time. So much grow at the same level. Usually P1 to P2 when is reaches the economy must grow at the same rate of usually grow in the autonomous environment. For a short time, economy may uh, full employment full employment ceiling line, but because national income has ceased to increase at a rapid rate, induced investment while accelerator falls off to the level consistent with a modest rate of growth determined by the constant rate of growth of the autonomous investment, but the economy cannot go beyond this line full employment ceiling for a long time. So the sharp decline in the growth of income and consumption when the economy strikes. The ceiling causes a sharp decline in induced investment. Thus, with a sharp decline in induced investment, the national income and hence consumption ceases to increase rapidly. The contractions in the level of income and businesses actually must begin. Once downward starts, the accelerator works in the reverse direction. That is, since the change in the income is now negative and the inducement to invest must begin to decrease. Thus, there is uh, from the point P2, national income start moving towards equilibrium growth point and it's moving downwards. This therefore represent a downswing or contraction phase of trades business cycle. In this downswing, investment falls off rapidly, therefore multiplier works in the reverse directions. A fall in the national income and output resulting from the sharp fall in the induced investment will not stop on touching the level of EE, but will go further down, and the economy must consequently move all the ways and P2 Q2. But at this point, P2 Q2 um, uh, and at this point floor Q2 has been reached, whereas the once was limited by the output ceiling set by the full employment of available resources. So it says the pro conditions, and after this, Nami also goes recovery. Hope strength well understood the concept of the Higgs theories but there are some criticism of Higgs theory of trade cycle. It's assumed that the value of multiplier is constant, but in the reality, multiplier does not remain constant. He always thinks that the value of multiplier will be constant. He also assumed that autonomous investment grows at a constant rate, but in actual practice, during depression, to financial crisis, autonomous investment also falls. Hicks assumes that there is a full employment ceiling and floor level, but in reality, it is very difficult to determine ceiling and floor level as I discussed with you. Hicks also determines ceiling level and floor level, but it is also difficult to determine. The entire Hicks theory is based on complex mathematical framework. It is very difficult to understand. So, despite the above criticism, is considered as best explanation of trade cycles. Diction theory of trade cycles is still considered as a superior theory, uh, the all earlier theory. So it's simple, we can say a major weakness of the Higgs theory, according to Cardo, is that is based on the principle of accelerator in its rigid forms. If the rigid forms of accelerator principle is not valid, then the introduction of the multiplier accelerator, which is the crucial concept of the Higgsian theory of the trade cycle, is not valid too. The basic concept of the multiplier accelerator traction is important. One, but we cannot rely except to explain observed cycles by a mechanical applications of this concept. And according to Higgs, in his visual cycle theory, actually tries to show. It may be noticed that Calder puts forward a theory of business cycle which does not make use of the rapid, rigid, and or strict forms of accelerator principle. In his trade cycle theory, Calder provides for investment being directly related to the level of income and inversely related to the stock of capital. So, Strand, hope you well understood the criticism of the Higgsian theory of multiplier. Hope you well understood this theory, and its theory is also considered a superior theory to all the earlier theory. Now, thank you very much. We will meet with the next video, simulation theory of trade cycle. Now, thank you.